Hey guys, it's Jim Bounds at Motorhome Rehab Ranch and Patreon, and this is going to be the last one about paint. I want to wrap up some things, okay? The last one we talked about painting the coach. And one of the things I didn't talk about painting, this is a big thing, you know? And by the time you get from here to there, that paint's dry and you're shooting dust. So what you want to do is you want to paint the roof first, okay? You want to prime everything, get everything primed at the same time, get a nice base surface, and then paint the roof. The roof's going to be one color usually. So you paint, you base it, you clear the roof, let it cure, you don't sand it, and then you bag it off. Let's say bag it off. Tape line, normal tape line, right at the top of the windshield is right over there. There's about a 2-inch up, and it goes right to the rail, right here. You can see right here. So you just bag it off right there. Right? So you paint the roof. Now, you know, I said before, you want to use the same paint, the same gun, same everything. Well, if you've ever done 2 gallons of paint at one time, you know it's hard to mix it all at one time. Okay, so you can't. You got a pot, or if you're using a big pot, but still, paint the roof, mix all that, paint it, because there's a natural line between the side and the roof. And if the paint was just a little bit off or anything, you wouldn't notice that, right? So you paint the roof, bag it, then you paint the sides, front, then the sides, okay? You say, wow, we've been doing a lot of stuff about paint. Is there any other way? Can I do anything else to make it look good at all? Well, this coach, these are decal stripes. These are not paint on. Well, that's the way GM would do it. You know, and Bub and Scooter are not going to paint those stripes. And there's vinyl wraps. You've seen cars go along that advertising and all that kind of stuff. Buses, city buses. Well, they use a stick-on vinyl wrap, and they've got some UV vinyls now. They have UV inhibitors in them. They'll last 3-4 years. Now, you're not going to get a high gloss, but you'll get a color. You'll get really cool stripes. I mean, if a printer can print it, you can stick it. So you can get some neat stripes. Cost. You're going to be probably about half the price. If you look at materials and labor, about half the price to do a vinyl wrap, okay? And if you keep it out of the sun, if you park it in the garage every time and just take it out, it lasts a long time. But you've got to think about how much UV it's going to hit, and it's going to fade it out, you know. Another thing that we did was, you saw the Tin Soldier, a black one we did. We painted it with bed liner. You go, what? Bed liner? Yeah. Well, again, you don't get a glossy picture, not a glossy finish, but it is a colored finish. You can pigment it any color you want. And the gun that comes with the stuff, you can turn down the texture to where it's just a real smooth texture, which actually, if you look at some of the new cars today, you know, they got flat colors. They've got all kinds of texture things on it. So you can do that with the exterior. And you'll have, the good thing about texture coating is you will bypass most of the prep work, because it's not going to telegraph through. It's not flat. The flatter and the smoother it is, the more it's going to telegraph. Well, if you put something on there that's real thick, it's not going to telegraph through, so you won't have to do quite as much body work. If the body is really, really bad, that's the way it was with that Tin Soldier. Shh, don't tell the guy that bought it. The body was terrible, terrible shape. The best thing we could do was paint it with bed liner. So you may run into that kind of thing. Now there's another option, Plastidip. You ever seen this stuff? You get a jar of it, and you put your wrench handle in it, and it comes out and it's kind of rubbery and gives you a handle. Well, it's kind of cool stuff. So somebody had the idea, well, why don't we just squirt that stuff on the paint? And then when you finish, like if you lease a car, you lease a white car, and you want to paint it blue, well, you plasti dip it, and when you finish, you can peel it off and give them back their white car. You know, some people use it for advertising. A good friend of mine did a camo plasti dip. It's really cool. Anytime that it started messing up, he'd just clean it with a little xylene and just shoot it again. Just another part of the patina. That was another way to do it, you know. So painting, it is a big deal. And you'll see a lot of coaches that, like this coach, this is pretty nice, but it's a one color. They didn't go crazy with it. It doesn't stand out as being ugly, or like, see, they didn't fix some cracks and things. It doesn't stand out because the color is pretty neutral color. You don't really see that much. Body side molding came off, but they were using the black body molding, black window, black wheels, black window frames to be the second color. You know, you can do it that way. Even though it is the size of 2 elephants, if you've got some contrast colors, you can get away with it. And you can get away without doing some of the body work if you're not going to really polish it to 3,000 or something like that. Chances are this paint has never been buffed out, because if you buffed it, then it's going to get real shiny. And then when it starts getting shiny, then you see the cracks. Then you see, the harder you work on it, the more you got to work on it. It's not what to do, it's where to stop, brother. I mean, look, here's another little crack. See, I didn't even notice it. I'm sitting here just kind of looking at it. Oh, there's a crack here, there's a crack there, but you stand back 10 feet and it doesn't look bad at all. So paint is very subjective. Your eye is the worst part. It's like in sound, in music. What's the worst part of the stereo system? Your ear. You know, the music could be awesome, but if you hear, like I have tinnitus in 2 octaves, I have crickets in my head all the time. So it doesn't really matter high-end music because I can't hear it anyway, you know? So you got to look at paint that. It's a very subjective thing. How far do you want to go? How perfect do you want it to be? Of course, how much money you want to put in it. And it's big. You'll have 2 gallons of base. You'll have 2, maybe 3 gallons of clear. You'll have a gallon, maybe 2 gallons of primer. You say, well, you know, it's a lot of paint. Well, it's a lot of money. A lot of money. And just because you have the paint, if it's not put on well, that's where the labor comes in. That's where the experience comes in. And again, I talked to you before, but if you're going to paint one of these, paint a car first. Paint something else first. And then paint one of these. Because this is just a lot of work. It's very big, right? So look, if you have any other questions about it, or you're going to paint it, if you're going to, well, you should. I mean, you know, you're going to make them look nice. Call me. Put me in your loop. We'll go through each step. Because what I did here is I showed you where the lake is, okay? I couldn't, even in 5 15-minute segments, I can't tell you how to paint a motorhome, you know? But I can give you some of the tips. And if you want to do it, decide what you want to do. And that's why you're a ranch hand, you know? We'll do it together. Now, when you're done, you can do another one, right? You can learn. It's the first one. Henry Ford's first car had bicycle tires. He learned right away the bicycle tires wouldn't work too long, but he had to do that first, right? So take your time with it. Know what your end goal is. Your end goal is to have something that you're proud of, that other people look at, and that recognize that that you're proud of it, right? All right, well, look, thanks for your time. You like this? Anything here? Like, click on like, and subscribe and share. And ranch hands, thank you so much. I hope this paint series has helped. We've got a lot of other series coming. Really exciting to be able to tell you guys some of the stuff that we've learned over the years, and maybe you won't make the mistakes we made. All right. Look, guys, thanks a lot, and we'll see you next time.